everyone, it's Presley at ActOutGames.com here, and today we are making this really cool Tricorn hat for one of my new cosplays.
Yeah. So this is our secret, currently, cosplay for MCM London, for London Comic Con.
Yes.
So, curious to see if people can figure out what we're making as we progress and we put different parts to it.
It'll be pretty obvious after a couple parts.
I think when as we get closer, you'll figure out what it is, right?
Yes.
But yeah, so this was really cool. Actually, this was a lot of fun. So I ordered this felt blank. If you look, we've got a little bit of footage of when I was kind of shaping it, right? So it just came as a big, wide brimmed hat, basically, right? And to make one of these things, you need like hat blocks and stuff like that. Yeah. I didn't have that, so we couldn't really make our own. So I couldn't get something in your size. A lot of people I see when they're making these, they go to like the thrift shop and they buy like these women's big floppy hats and turn them into these, and they turn out really good. Actually, a lot of the ones I've seen, just to get one in your size would have been really hard. Yeah. So I ordered the blank. There'll be a link in the doobly-doo to where we got the blank, right? Yeah. And then so it was just a big round floppy hat, and what we did with that was we took one of our floor steamers, then it has a little attachment on it that sort of spits out more of a jet of steam, and you steam the felt, and that makes it a little bit more pliable, and you can hold it into a certain shape and wait for it to cool and dry a little bit, and then it'll hold that shape, right? And so what we did, the real key to kind of making it work is this piece right here. This is the front, and so you don't want these to be flat so that there's kind of a straight line here. Like if you look at the back, it's a little straighter here, but here on the front you kind of want this point to come out. You see how it does that? Yeah. Like here. And so the first thing I did was steam like right here, and then pinch this together in the front. There should be some footage here rolling of doing that, but getting that kind of pinched together so that it comes in and then shoots forward like that, right? And then I bent the back up. Once I had this kind of bent a little bit, I got the back with the way that I wanted it to be, and then I steamed the sides and bent the sides up a little bit. So when the sides come up, it should swoop in and then kind of point forward and be kind of hollow here. You don't really want it closed here. You want this cool little hollow to kind of open up, right? And you can kind of see it back on the sides too, the way that these are kind of hollowed out, right? So steamed them, folded them over. They stayed pretty close to where I wanted them to be. But the last thing you do is you take, and this is the part that's called cocking the hat, right? A tricorn. And so I took like an awl, little poke thing, right?
Poke thing.
And poked 4 holes on the sides here, and then tied little strips of leather to go through those, right? To kind of hold it in place and keep it in a real good shape. And so these go straight. The ones on the back go straight, and I use black leather for this because I want them to be pretty subtle. You can make them bigger. I've seen people do like red leather or ribbon to do it, and it looks really cool. It's a nice little splash of red, right? And then this one on this one side, I did a little cross, a little X. Yeah. A lot of people do those, and I think that looks really sharp too, right? And then once you get it all put in place, it should stay in place pretty well because it's got that, the stitching kind of holding it in place. It's really easy to make, and I think it looks fantastic. Like, I'm really kind of happy with it, right? Yeah. And then I bought this, which is kind of like a feather boa. And this thing was ridiculously expensive too. I mean, not like crazy, like hundreds of dollars or anything, but for what it is, it was really expensive. It was expensive enough, I got it at Joann's, and when it was by the yard, so I had to get it cut, and the lady at the cut counter like told me how much it was. Just to make sure I understood how much it was going to cost, right? And so I just bought like, a couple of feet of this stuff. And then you can use this stitching that you put in place to run, your feather or whatever you're going to put in here. You can run that through your stitches or even under your stitches where there's a little bit more room, and fold it over, and then you get this look here, which is almost exactly like it looks in our reference material. Yes. But we're not going to mention what it is now.
In our reference material.
If you put that there, there you go. Presley in a tricorn hat that I think looks pretty awesome, and I think it looks really close to what we wanted it to be. And you can take like a little ribbon and fold it over and sew it around the outsides to give it like a nice trim. But I actually kind of like it rough like that. We may end up doing that, but so far I'm really pleased with it. What do you think? Yeah. You like it? You think it looks like the one that we're trying to make it look like?
Yes, the one that we're trying to make it look like.
Great.
Good luck finding out who it is. It probably, even with this, it won't be hard based on what we like.
Yeah, I think somebody out there may know already, right? We'll see if somebody posts in the comments if they can figure out what we're making, right?
Yes.
I'm starting this week, I think on Thursday, I'm going to start sewing some of the clothes to go with it. So I think as we start putting those together, it'll become a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
And then one piece that's going to be pretty easy to make, I think we'll make it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. So yeah, let us know if you know what we're making. It is sort of somewhat of a clue that it's for London Comic Con, I think. Cool. So that's our first piece for the new cosplay. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know how we're going to get it to London safely. We're going to get a hat box or something like that to get it to London and keep it in good shape, right? We may box it and ship it if they'll let us ship it to the flat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. What do you think? You like it? I love it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.